Success is almost never built in one dramatic moment. It's built quietly in the way you think, the standards you hold yourself to, and the decisions you repeat when nobody's watching. Today, we're breaking down 5 mindset habits behind Conor McGregor's rise, from a plumber's apprentice in Dublin, collecting unemployment checks, training in a gym he could barely afford, to a 2-division UFC world champion, standing in packed arenas around the world. This isn't about hero worship. It's about the habits underneath the highlight reel, the ones that actually transfer to your life, whatever you're building. Stick around till the end, because the 5th habit is the one most people quietly ignore, and it might be the most important one on this list. And if breakdowns like this help you, subscribe, because we've got more coming. Habit 1, visualize everything. Long before the championships, the money, and the packed arenas, there was visualization. Not vague daydreaming, but specific, repeated mental rehearsal of exact outcomes. McGregor has said it plainly, and it's become one of the most quoted lines from his entire career. If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. People love to quote that line, but they usually miss the actual mechanism behind it. Visualizing something doesn't make it happen through magic. What it does is give your effort a direction. Most people work hard without a clear picture of what they're actually working toward. They put in hours, they grind, but the effort scatters because there's no specific target it's aimed at. When you can see the outcome in detail, how it looks, how it feels, what the moment is actually like, your daily actions stop being random motion and start pointing somewhere specific.
Habit 2. Speak your goals publicly. This is the habit that made McGregor famous before he'd even proven it. He was known, even early in his career, for saying exactly what he intended to do, out loud, on camera, in interviews, before he'd actually done it. He predicted rounds, he predicted outcomes, he named opponents he hadn't even been booked against yet. For most people, that's deeply uncomfortable, because the moment you say something out loud, you can't quietly back out of it later. Your own words start creating pressure on you. But here's the part people miss. That pressure can become accountability instead of just anxiety. When people around you have heard you say what you're building toward, you eventually have to make your actions match your words, or you live with the visible gap between what you said and what you did. Some people find that terrifying and avoid saying their goals out loud for exactly that reason. But avoiding the pressure also means avoiding the accountability that pressure creates. If you're still with me, ask yourself honestly, when's the last time you actually said your real goal out loud to another person, instead of just quietly hoping for it in private? Habit 3, obsess over details. This is the habit people skip past fastest because it's the least glamorous one on this list. Timing, distance, footwork, the exact angle of a strike. Small movements most spectators would never even notice watching a fight. At the highest level of any competitive field, raw effort alone isn't enough to separate you from everyone else who is also putting in effort. Everyone at the top level trains hard. Everyone shows up. What actually creates separation is what you notice, measure, and refine that other people overlook entirely. Studying the small things obsessively until they stop being conscious decisions and become automatic instinct is what turns someone who works hard into someone who's actually elite. It's slower, it's less exciting to talk about, and it doesn't make for a dramatic origin story. But it's usually where the...
Habit 4, think beyond your circumstances. McGregor's early life wasn't glamorous, and it wasn't set up for the outcome that eventually happened. Limited money, uncertain prospects, a slow, largely unnoticed climb through small Irish fight circuits most people outside that world had never even heard of. There was a period where he was collecting social welfare while training, with no guarantee any of it would lead anywhere. Your current situation describes where you are standing right now, today, in this exact moment. It does not have to describe where you're actually going. You can have very limited resources today, an unimpressive job, a small apartment, very little momentum visible from the outside, and still be quietly building, day by day, towards something much bigger than your current circumstances would ever suggest to an outside observer. The gap between where you are and where you're going isn't proof that the goal is unrealistic. It's just proof that you haven't closed it yet. Habit 5, and this is the one people quietly ignore because it's the most uncomfortable one to actually practice. Bet on yourself. There will always be a stretch of time, sometimes a long stretch, where certainty simply isn't available to you. You won't know for sure if the risk you're taking will actually pay off. You won't know if the people around you will understand what you're trying to build before you've actually built it and proven it. You won't know if the sacrifices you're making right now, the money you're not making elsewhere, the comfort you're giving up, the people who think you're wasting your time, will eventually be worth it. Sometimes all you actually have in that uncertain stretch is preparation, discipline, courage, and the simple willingness to keep moving without a guarantee waiting for you at the end. That's not a small thing to have. In a lot of ways, that's the entire game. Everyone wants the outcome. Very few people are willing to move forward without the certainty first.
Here's what matters most, though, more than any single habit on this list. Don't become obsessed with someone else's specific journey. Your path won't look like McGregor's, and honestly, it isn't supposed to. Different sport, different circumstances, different starting point, different timeline entirely. Study the mindset underneath the journey instead. Take the specific pieces that actually serve what you're building and quietly let go of the rest. Then, go build your own version of this, on your own timeline, in your own field, using your own definition of what winning even looks like. Visualize what you actually want, in specific detail, not vague wishing. Speak it with intention, even when it's uncomfortable to say out loud. Master the small details nobody else is paying attention to. Think bigger than your current circumstances, without pretending those circumstances don't exist. And keep betting on the work you're actually willing to put in, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed to you in advance. The destination will probably change as you grow, and that's completely normal. Goals shift, definitions of success shift. What doesn't shift is the mentality underneath all of it. Keep going, keep improving, keep aiming higher than where you currently stand. So tell me honestly in the comments, which one of these 5 habits are you weakest on right now? Visualizing clearly, speaking your goals out loud, mastering the details, thinking bigger than your circumstances, or actually betting on yourself when certainty isn't available? If this breakdown gave you something you can genuinely use, like this video, share it with someone chasing their own version of this climb, and subscribe for more mindset breakdowns like this one. I'll see you in the next one.